Hello.
Hi. Well, it's our third week of our Winter Getaway 2026.
Yep. And we're going to demonstrate how we button this camper up for temperatures that get around freezing or below.
Yeah, tonight our forecast, unfortunately, here in Texas, is going to get down to 31 degrees.
Which isn't terrible because I don't know what the temperature was when we were at the Illinois.
It was pretty cold.
It was very cold, and the wind chill was extremely cold.
Yeah, and actually when we left it was 4 below zero
Yeah.
in Wisconsin.
So I don't remember what the temperature was, but it was definitely below freezing.
Yeah.
So 31 degrees isn't terrible, but it keeps the camper more comfortable if we button it up with a few things that we do.
Yeah, we're at Buckhorn Creek, part of Lake of the Pines waterway here at a Corps of Engineers park. And we're going to show what we do to get ready for cold weather and how we keep the heat inside instead of it dissipating.
Yeah.
So what do you do first, Steve?
So we usually put I forget what it's called, the cover over the windshield.
Yeah, it's a thermal quilted windshield cover.
Yeah.
I'll put a link down in the description of where we got ours. We had to adapt it a little bit to fit the Sprinter chassis. We couldn't get one for the specific year, but a little sewing machine magic took in 2 darts. If anybody that does sewing, they know what I mean. 2 triangular pieces. Made it fit a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to show how Steve does that.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the fabric. It's a quilted, metallic-looking, weather-resistant fabric, and it's made to fit over the windshield. We'll see how well this camera works outside in the dark. Okay?
All right.
Okay, this is the thermal windshield cover that we have on the motorhome. And it didn't film very good when we put it on last night in the dark. So I thought I would film us taking it off. So these are the little Velcro strips underneath the side mirrors. And over here, there's a pocket over the front and a magnet in this bottom corner that sticks on the door. And on the front, Steve tucks it underneath the windshield wipers, usually. He's one step ahead of me and took it off. So I will include a link in the description below of where we bought this on Amazon. And technically, it's not for this year of the Mercedes chassis. So I had to sew, you want to hold this open here a little bit? I had to sew extra little darts right here and take up some of the excess fabric. Otherwise it was too floppy. So on each side, I sewed better to make it fit. So it was from about here. I took out like a triangle, what's called a gusset, if you look it up. So unless it's damp, we let it sit out and dry. Unless it's, damp, it gets folded up and stowed away until we need it again. And hopefully we don't, because tonight it's supposed to still stay, in the 60s? 50s to 60s, so we won't be needing it. The last 2 nights it got down in the low 30s to freezing, 31, 32. So Steve folds it up and we have a nice little carry bag that it goes in and stows it away. So this morning as we were looking out, there was probably about 40 or 50 pelicans out here and probably 100 little black birds of some type of ducks. They were all out here in like a feeding frenzy. I'll include the footage I shot quick with my other camera. I didn't have time to get this one out. So I shot some quick footage. It's a little shaky, But it was just beautiful looking out the window and seeing such a marvelous sight of all these birds. Now everybody else left the campground except us and this one gentleman here and a tent way over there. And that's about it. So we're nice and quiet this week. We'll take that. So I'm not sure if I said it on the last video or not, but we re-upped ourselves to stay for another 6 nights. You can only stay in Corps of Engineer parks for 14 days and within the same what's called basin, the same flowage. And we did stay 1 night up at the other campground at, what was called Putman Dam. And we decided, that we moved on from there. We were here first for 7 nights. So we think that first night counted as our 8th. So we reserved this one for only 6 more nights. After that, we will have to move on.
All right, so in this motorhome, and this has accordion type window shades that just pull across and snap, or by magnet snap into place. So all you do is pull them across and it's pretty easy.
And this is part of the Winnebago chassis up in the front, the Sprinter chassis from Winnebago. Includes those accordion pleated window covers.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. It just adds 1 more layer.
Mm-hmm. So then we cut out window sizes for the reflectix that go over the windows. It really makes a difference on keeping the heat into the motorhome. So when Karen went and marked them so we know where they go. And to put them in, we just basically drop them down and put them into the window frame. And then I take the roller shade and drop it down, and that kind of holds them into place. So then the next one is the skylight, which is kind of difficult to get in here now because we have our Starlink up in here. So we'll see what I can do about that. I guess that helps. And then the little windows up above, and we have one for the entry door which I have to go out to do. And that one just tucks into the window frame. That's all for that one.
Here comes the one for the kitchen. This one takes 2 people. Gotta lift it up just a little bit. There we go. And this one also, the blind helps hold it into place.
So I made a little piece that goes over our exhaust fan right here. There's quite a bit of heat that goes up through there. So I made this. It has little ears that will actually fit into the vent grooves. And then you just push it in and it just stays there. So the fan has a direct route right out to the outside, and if you don't cover that out, cover it up, the heat will directly go straight out of the RV. The hole is about 4-inch hole at 4 to 5 inches, something like that, that goes right out of the RV. Another piece that we cut that goes in the bathroom vent, and we just pop that into that vent opening. And it holds itself pretty much through the night, but it helps a lot that the heat doesn't go right through that vent. Even though the lid is closed, it still helps a lot. So that's what
this
we do.
Reflectix we bought in a large roll, and it's kind of like bubble wrap, only it's stiff. And it's got kind of the shiny aluminum coating, but it is a layer of bubbles in between. And we just unrolled it and cut all the pieces to size. Steve spent a whole afternoon measuring each one up and cutting them. And like he said, then I labeled them so we knew which one goes where.
Okay, and this one is for the passenger side. And I've got to figure out which way it goes. And it just basically tucks in one half of the window. The other half just kind of sits. Now we pull down the shade, and Karen, I don't know if you saw this, but there's magnets on the bottom she glued onto the bottom of these shades, and there's magnets that's glued onto the wall. When you bring it down,
One more notch. There we go.
and it really holds everything in together and keeps the shade from bouncing around also. All right, now for the driver's side. Just tucks into the and then the back window, we already have that one in. And we kind of left it there because it keeps the drafts off the neck at night. So these really made a huge difference when we were up in Alaska for getting dark enough to sleep at night. Otherwise, it's pretty light out all night, I mean. So
This last one is my contribution to our thermal protection, and it's a beautiful quilt. I made this to go on our love seat, but we also use it at night. Let's see here. This is the side, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, this one. We have to pick the widest side, where there are 10 leaves across. And there we go. There's the middle. And we clamp this up. I hold it so it doesn't fall down. The weight of the quilt can pull these clips right off until we have enough to hold it up into place. And this top strip was from a bunk curtain that went across here, but the bunk curtain only came down as far as the edge of the bunk. Didn't really help down in the cockpit. We took that curtain out because it was a pain in the butt. Kind of got in the way of the slide over here. Here you go. So we devised a way to clip up this quilt to create one more barrier. The front cockpit area does not need to be heated, and there are no vents or registers up there. Now, as soon as he gets beyond the halfway point, then I can start releasing the quilt gently. There we go. And feed him a few more clips. These are just little clips from the hardware store. And again, we only do this when it's really cold. Now, we also have tank heaters on both our gray and black tanks. And our freshwater tank is above the basement floor. And for that, we do have a little electric space heater, a small, what is that, 400 watt?
Yeah.
That we can put in that compartment. Okay.
Okay, that's
As for heat, when we're boondocking on the thermostat, we can put this to gas heat, which runs the propane furnace. That comes out all the registers and vents along the bottom floor. If we are camped somewhere with electric, our Houghton air conditioner also has a heat pump in it for electrical that has 3 different fan speeds, and it's thermostatic. We can also set it to be a dehumidifier as well as an air conditioner. So we can use that. At nighttime, though, we like just using this electric heater. It's a Lasko tower heater. It has a remote control that I can operate from the bed if we set it here on the counter aimed towards the bedroom. And we can control the heat level from the bed. And if it really gets difficult when we're boondocking, we do have a little buddy heater as well as a Coleman cat heater, a small one that we can bring inside during the day to help supplement the gas heat. So we really have 5 different sources of heating in the motorhome. But the best one that I like is at night before we go to bed, we come over here and pop on our electric mattress pad heaters. And we have a nice cozy bed to hop into that's nice and warm.